little cooking as well. How could you guys do this to me?
What happened?
I'm cooking too.
Well, that's how it is. But welcome, fellow viewers, to the Vlogcast, where we talk about all things media matters. Be it anime, TV, movies, cats, whatever it be, we talk about it.
Yes.
Like spicy chicken sandwiches. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our topic today. We've got Roger and Dave with us today. And of course, I got Jake here.
Of course.
And today's topic is one that I think we've all run into at least once in a while. Be it anime, be it TV, be it movies. There's always that thing where you say something and they're like, you haven't seen that? Like I remember a few years ago, I had told Jake, yeah, I haven't seen Silence of the Lambs. And he was like, what? How can you not have seen that? But you know, there are films or TV like that for all of us. So I thought we would just kind of go around and start, and I'll start us off so that we can play this little game together and name something that everybody seems to have seen, but we have not. And then we can go around and say, has anybody else seen this? See how many people really have. So mine is going to bridge the gap so that Roger can fully play with us on this one. And one I have not seen, a series that most people have, is Pokemon. I have yet to see a single episode of Pokemon to this day. So has everybody else seen Pokemon?
No, I haven't seen Pokemon.
Nope.
Or Digimon or the other kind of ones like that.
Well, darn it. I think I guess everybody has not seen it, at least not here.
I don't know. Dave hadn't spoken up yet.
Did you see any Pokemon, Dave?
Dave, you got your mute on.
Get your mic. Move your mic.
I have not seen Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it's in Placid Lake, right?
And I'm talking movies, series in general. I have not seen that.
Yeah, the closest I've come is I did see Detective Pikachu, which was a very enjoyable film.
And I have not seen yet either.
But,
I've seen Detective Pikachu.
But yeah, nothing on the show itself. So we all kind of missed that one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this kind of level would be, haven't you seen Akira? Haven't you?
Well,
Yes.
Dave has.
I think we hooked Dave up on that one.
All right, buddies. You guys are the best.
We covered it on the show.
We covered it on our channel, so.
Yep.
Actually,
that would be mine, though.
so you have not seen Akira, Roger?
I have seen it many times, but I'll be the one I'll be saying, hey, guy, you haven't seen it yet? You got to see it. Stuff like that.
Well, what about some of are there any like of those big 80s ones that you've so far missed or later if that's not the case?
For anime, for 80s stuff, yeah, there's a bunch of it. There's a lot of giant robot stuff I haven't seen. I haven't seen the entirety of Go Lion yet. I haven't seen the entirety of Die Rugger. I've seen Voltron, but that's like edited.
Yeah.
But probably, God, is that so much of it? I'm probably I have 80s stuff. I bet there's somewhere in there. There's going to be Detective Conan somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. It's been there. It's been there forever.
How much have you seen any Detective Conan at all?
I might have seen part of part one, and I went ahead and shelved it and said, "There's other stuff for me to watch."
That was one. That's a daunting one because you're looking at ahead, and it's like it's over 1,000 episodes staring.
Yeah.
One Piece would be another one that I have not seen a single iota of it. So
Really?
I haven't seen that one.
Now I've tried twice to get through it. And the first time I got through the part where Usopp leaves the island. The second part, I think I got through the Arlong saga. I've seen a couple of the movies, and the first episode I ever saw was the one that introduced Brooke, which is almost 300 episodes into the series. But that's really about it. I've read much more of the manga, and I've only gotten to the Impel Down story arc. So that's a behemoth.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
What about movies, Jake? Is there a movie that you could say that many people have seen, but you have not seen yet? That people go, why haven't you seen that?
I feel like that happens every other week on this channel. Like with Nose this week, I had never seen Inner Space, and I don't think I had seen Last Starfighter, but now I have
not. Yeah, now I have. Yeah.
But some of the ones like I'm trying to think of one that I still get that feeling of like, oh my god, I need to see that.
Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer.
Goodie.
Dragon Slayer.
Right. Trying to think here. Okay, I'm looking through Brandon's shelves here. I have never seen the show Samurai Jack. I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
So
neither have I.
I don't know. I know that's a big one though. People talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people. Shoot, Nina, our friend, mutual friend, has seen it and loves it. What about you, Dave? Is there anything that you can think of that people, like everybody around you, said, "Yeah, we've seen that"? That you would say, "Well, I haven't seen it," and they go, "What? How can you not have seen that?"
Arrested Development.
Really? Okay, I would be one of those. You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen the news.
I haven't seen season 4. I've seen the first 3 seasons 3 times, but I have not seen season 4.
That was one that came up in a conversation, and y'all were talking about it, and I had no clue. So
it's a good show. It's fun.
Wouldn't know.
But it is a little, unfortunately, one of those ones that's tinged by association now because the family patriarch, Jeffrey Tambor, has been thoroughly discredited in the public sphere. But
drama does not bother me when it comes to a series. I will watch a series if it's recommended, and any outside drama that has discredited the person, that doesn't really bother me because if I like it, I'm going to watch it.
All right. Good times.
The Toxic Avenger. I have not seen that one.
I have not either.
I have.
Oh my God. SeptumSin, you haven't seen the Toxic Avenger?
Oh my God.
Schmoly. What happened?
I will say I have not seen the Toxic Crusaders and the Toxic Crusaders, the movie, but I have seen Toxic Avengers ones before.
I watched the cartoon when I was a kid, so I have seen Toxic Crusaders, but I never saw any of the live action films.
I've never seen season 2 of Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Oh,
I've seen Creepshow.
That is a good one to see.
I don't believe I've seen that.
Oh, well, that is a horror classic. A must.
Absolutely. It's based on a Stephen King stuff and EC comic stuff.
Right. And there's still a few King ones that I have not seen that I'm not sure how many I've not seen would. I guess the original Pet Sematary. I've seen the new one, but I've not seen the original.
The original one's pretty good. I don't like horror too much, but I did like the Pet Sematary.
And I feel like there was probably at least one more that I would get some flack for not seeing, but
Carrie.
I have seen Carrie. I've not seen the remake, but I've seen the original.
John Travolta and was it Sissy Spacek?
Yeah. Yep. That's a classic.
Can it be
Dead Zone?
What's
Dead
that?
Zone? The Dead Zone?
Okay. Well, actually, yeah. I saw a few episodes of the series, but I've never seen the movie. So that's one that, that's kind of a...
I own the entire series of The Dead Zone, and I have also seen the movie. But I prefer the series over the movie.
From what I saw, it was pretty good, but I didn't see a lot of it.
I have only seen the series-related movie, never the original.
No.
Oops.
So, okay, but you actually, Roger, you reminded me of one that I think I could put out there that I was recently reminded of as one I need to see. But you mentioned John Travolta.
Uh-huh.
Of all of his stuff, I have not seen arguably one of his essential films.
Uh-oh.
Battlefield Earth. No.
Okay.
I have not seen Saturday Night Fever. So
I've seen
that's
snippets
kind
of that.
strange one.
Just a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not seeing that one. That's like
Yeah.
like the 70s stuff.
It is,
At least
it is
it
weird.
80s?
No, it's 70s.
It's
late
70s stuff,
70s,
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember seeing snippets of it. Yeah.
One of his earlier dancing ones.
Right.
Staying Alive.
He was, yeah. You would often find it in the double feature with Staying Alive.
Actually, I don't think I've presented that. So,
Mm. And then
But I have actually watched both of those.
all right. So what about who are we up to? Do we know?
well,
See, I own many things. I just haven't seen
that's the other thing.
3/4 of it.
I can say that I've owned a lot of stuff that is
Yes.
essential that I haven't seen.
And I own some stuff. Yeah, I let's see, stuff that is essential that I own. I don't know if I own Staying Alive, strangely enough, but I do own the old Fred Astaire film Top Hat. That's an essential that I own. Some of the old film noir ones, like Angels with Dirty Faces, I want to watch that because of the Home Alone reference, or the reference that Home Alone makes to it. Public Enemy and Little Caesar are both like big ones from back in the day that I've never seen. I've never seen the original Scarface, like the old one from, what was it, the 40s?
Howard Hawks.
Oh,
Yeah, the old one.
I've
There's
seen
one
that.
before the Al Pacino one.
Yeah, well before that, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
hmm
Yeah.
Now, most
Howard-
people,
Howard-
if you mention the
Howard
Pacino
Hawks
one, they'd say you. What's that, Dave?
Howard Hawks directed the original
Right,
Scarface.
Yeah. They, yeah, most people, if you said you'd not seen the Brian De Palma one with Pacino, they would look at you like,
yeah, they really.
Yeah, the director of the original The Thing from Another World
hmm
Oh.
directed the original Scarface.
I know one that you've seen, Dave, that I went, what? When you said that you hadn't seen it yet. It's the Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh, I've seen that one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I've never seen the Bill and Ted movies. I saw part of the show, the animated series. I saw bits and pieces of that.
I think I've seen the last 10 minutes of Bill and Ted's Amazing Adventure, or what it was, or Excellent Adventure. That's
Excellent Adventure. Yeah.
I grew up
Yeah,
on
like the
that.
last 10 minutes.
I have now the first two, and I need to watch them so that I can watch the third one to log in for 2020 films. And actually, that's another one. I have not seen Bad Boys for Life, partly because I have never seen the Bad Boys movies.
What?
Yeah.
Neither have I.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Seriously.
I have seen that.
Yeah, and I plan on picking up the
That one I have
Criterion.
not seen.
What's that, Dave?
I have not seen Fast Times at Richmond.
Oh,
Oh my God! What
That's-
happened, Dave? What happened?
I was more into sci-fi, horror, comedy. I liked a lot of early comedy, but stupid comedy. Well,
Absolutely, it's completely stupid.
well, one software from that time period. I have never seen Dune, and that might be I need to see.
I
haven't
both
seen that one.
versions. Both versions and the miniseries.
There's another one coming out soon.
Yep.
And I haven't seen The Thing either.
So have y'all seen Days
The
and
John
Confused?
Carpenter, the thing.
Yeah, the John Carpenter's The Thing. I haven't
have
seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that one, but I
That's a
have
good
not
one.
seen the original.
The
Now
vegetable
that
thing.
was the thing from another world, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
It
think
was
so.
the thing from another world.
Yeah.
So that's one I can say I haven't seen the original of.
Hmm.
Have you seen the prelude? The prequel?
Nope.
Hmm.
There's a prequel.
How about okay? Dave,
Yeah, there's a prequel.
Fast,
There's
So
a
you
prequel
haven't
that
seen
came out.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but have you seen Dazed and Confused?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh wow.
Oh,
No.
I
Neither.
own it. I
See,
own it.
Another
but I-
reason we need to do that. I've tried a
Nope,
couple
I haven't
times
seen
to get us
Dazed
to
and
do that.
Confused. Even though I've heard,
See,
I could have sworn I've heard of that one somewhere. Is it because it's maybe something to do with the Beatles or the Led Zeppelin, or I think it's Led Zeppelin song or something? It's called like that.
I think there might be.
Dazed and
Unfortunately,
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I love this. I do.
Were you
love
saying
this
something, Dave?
Release.
unfortunately, being that I am an adult, I'm not sure if the humor will be lost on me or not. Yeah, I know.
Oh, the humor. Well, some of the
I
humor
mean,
Dazed and
is not
Confused.
PC, which you might actually enjoy that.
I may have to look that up really quickly,
But
guys.
It's got some. It's got some
Oh.
good. It's got some good quotes, some good one-liners.
Okay.
Kick
Yeah,
ass.
that box set is kind of cool looking.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have a
didn't
copy
watch
that
this.
needs viewing.
I didn't watch this until I was an adult.
Yeah.
Is
But
that the Criterion copy?
huh? Yes, Criterion.
That's
There's a
what I thought.
DVD version that looks exactly like it. So I know you prefer
That's a
DVD,
funky
Dave.
cover,
so
my friend. I like that cover more than
it
the
is. It's
video
such a
already.
solid cover.
That's a,
Mhm.
is that the Criterion collection
It's
or
one of
something
those
like that?
weird die cut ones they
How
do
about
every now and then.
that?
I
They
may
did-
get. I
Criterion.
may eventually get that Blu-ray box set eventually because it looks cool.
It does.
It looks cool. Yeah, it does look cool.
And as I said, the DVD version is identical to it. So it's
Let's see.
so you actually get a choice, and they both look just as cool.
Okay, one that I
No,
think
no, hold
some
on.
people would probably look at me like, how have you not seen that? But I could list a number of reasons of how I've not seen it. Is The Fly.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one.
that I've seen the entirety of.
I have only
Oh,
seen.
But when I came across it at the Shelf Factory box set at Walmart for $20, I couldn't pass it up.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, I mean I couldn't either. This is too cheap.
And I'm sure some people would say, how have you not seen this? I own a copy. Not this- I wish I owned this copy, but I
expensive
don't.
limited set.
I have
Yeah.
the
That's going for
basic.
like $500 right now.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to drop that for that.
I didn't drop that for that.
You got lucky, whatever you dropped.
I got it when they came back in print very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard such good things about Made in Abyss, but I have yet to see it because time, and I have a lot of stuff in my collection that I need to get to. And somebody keeps dropping 2020 films in my folder, so I keep being pushed behind.
One that I know. Whenever I say I haven't seen it, Brandon.
You wanted an award
because of the
show.
cover.
You wanted an award show.
Yeah.
We're going to have the best one.
Nice. So one that I know that every time I mention I haven't seen it, Brandon looks at me like I'm insane. He says, "How have you not seen that?"
Exactly. It's the best Christmas movie ever.
Never seen that.
I have not either.
It's corny, it's stupid, and corny and stupid is the best thing for Christmas films.
It
Love
depends
corny,
on how
sappy,
corny and stupid.
Now, and also, I know he would look at you like you're insane if you say you've never seen that Chihuahua.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua is a must.
Well, now I can say that I've seen Herod's Law, but
Nice.
have you seen these other two?
Dust to Dust, and what's the other one?
The other one is called Warriors.
I don't
Nope.
think I've seen either of those.
And I haven't seen the film The Warriors either. Yeah, the one about the gang.
You haven't seen The Warriors?
Nope, never.
Oh my god.
I don't even own a copy.
I do. That was one that I ended up having to see because Tammy comes from that era. So.
Come out to play, yay!
One that I know has come up a few times in our group discussion, and I got close to mentioning it, and I got sidetracked. Well, I mentioned Dune, but we've talked a couple times about David Lynch, and then everyone keeps bringing up Eraserhead, and I've not watched Eraserhead.
The thing is, when you talk about Dune, you have to also talk about the Giardowski's Dune that never happened too. Alejandro Giardowski was supposed to come out with a film. He had it's just the networks didn't like his budget, and the artistry that he made for the film was fantastic. It would have been a phenomenal film.
You can show them that. You haven't seen
the money just wasn't in it for it.
Okay, so Brandon just handed me this one randomly out of nowhere. Well, we were talking Stephen King, a movie that we both own, and neither of us have seen it, despite being Stephen King fans, is Firestarter.
Oh, that's the one with Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
I think I've seen snippets of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing either.
I've never seen it. I recently bought a copy from Shout. They had a nice sale going on.
I've seen that one and its sequel. So
yeah, I've never seen either one. I've seen Fire Tripper, and I'm waiting for it to get an American release. Needs one.
You mean the Rumiko Takahashi one?
Yes.
It was on video. It was on. I think it was on Laserdisc. But so. It needs to be on DVD though. It's a travesty that one's been lost to the annals of time.
That one needs it. Right behind Mermaid Scar and The Laughing Target.
That's a classic, and of course Mars to Kojo, or the Super Gal.
No, I admit they're classics, but I would not be surprised if people said they didn't see it.
Yeah,
just because it's so hard to see those.
Yes.
I think I've seen the one pound gospel short, but that's because of not so legit means. But sometimes when there is no legit release,
right?
Sometimes that's the only way you can see.
Something. Like the Macross to Remember the Love. If you don't want to watch the Class of the Binoids, or you don't happen to have a copy of the Macross to Remember the Love, or Macross the movie that came out just before it. Yeah, I don't blame you. There's some stuff I have guiltily thought.
Here's a big one. I think I have seen, I could be wrong about this, but I think I have seen a grand total of one full episode and maybe a bunch of snippets, because you can't not be an American and not have seen, you've seen snippets. But I have probably seen one full episode of the original Star Trek.
No. Trouble with Triples? You saw that episode?
I don't know.
Brain.
That's pretty amazing. Back in the day, that was my show.
I recently back-to-back watched Star Trek the original and Star Trek SDN.
Wow, that's a lot of back-to-backing.
And I just started Star Trek Deep Space Nine on Netflix. So
wow.
I recently went through a stint of watching all the Star Treks again. Yeah. So watched the Next Generation. I watched the Deep Space Nine, Voyager. I watched some of those, and I still watch a few of the original episodes, like Trouble with Tribbles. The Menagerie was another one I liked watching, and a few more.
One of them that I like watching from the original was A Piece of the Action. That's where Kirk gets sent down to like a world that acts like it's like from 1920.
I remember that one. He tried to do a manual transmission car. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, I love that episode.
Now here's one for you, Roger. I have never seen an episode of Robotech.
What? Holy
Or
shit!
Macross.
What happened?
Except for Macross Plus. I have seen that, but I have not seen any of the original.
Now, there are
Neither
two
have I.
methods of thought to that, because remember, Macross is part of Robotech. But, if you haven't seen Robotech, is this something that's kind of like, I can excuse you for? If you've seen Macross, you've probably seen Mos Petita or Southern Cross, you've probably seen Robotech. There's some elements that change from Robotech around a bit to make the continuity make sense from each generation. But it's probably something you probably want to watch eventually, even though we'll forgive you for that slight.
You'll probably be less forgiving when I say I've seen no Gundam.
Well, that's all right too. Don't forget, until just recently, Gundam has been a kind of like a thing that people talked about but never has seen. My first Gundam was 0083.
Every time we do our presentation, we
Unless
talk
you
about
watched-
Gundam, but don't actually show.
Unless you watch Wing on
I haven't seen no Gundam.
You gotta
watch 0083. Promise me.
I got a really, really awesome buy once. I picked up Gundam Wing, the first half, the Bandai release, when it was still out of print. I don't know if it's still as cheap. I mean, as expensive now as it was then, but it's not. It was a fun pickup when it happened.
Well, I think on the Bandai part, it was pretty cheap to pick up. I mean, it's the wackiness of this COVID thing that's thrown all that market into turmoil. What used to be $3 for each one because it deserved it, now it's like $35 to get the same thing.
They were pricey before COVID hit because it was Bandai. Anything Bandai had either gone way up or kind of up or whatever.
Yeah.
Some things definitely more than others. Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Actually, I do have the original Mobile Suit Gundam, the movie trilogy, that giant Gundam Wing set that they released.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
And War in the Pocket, but I have
classic.
only seen the Mobile Suit Gundam trilogy, which
it pretty much compresses 008. 2020 is 0079.
Now, I suspect that if I were to tell Dave that I have never watched Street Trash, he'd probably say, "What?"
You're better off.
No, I'll forgive you for that. they toss a severed penis in the air. So.
Oh my God! Man, no kidding. Ugh. I can skip that one too.
Like a football.
It's like a bad joke on the group. It's like everyone who did see it talks about it. It's like,
honestly, it's not as not. I don't know. I've been desensitized for most horror things over time. I have some things that I would probably be burned at the stake for.
Yeah.
Growing up Christian and owning some of the things I have.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that because I was growing up as a Christian. There's some questionable stuff that you probably wouldn't want to show your mother, But if you're considering it as an art form, there's a certain amount of push. You can push the envelope a little bit. There's some stuff I would never watch. But, there's some stuff I can understand or might be able to sit down and watch it through. Just like watching, what was it? Was it Nursemaid? Was it Nursemaid Nanako? Nanako? Was it Nursemaid Nanako? I think it was. Actually, what they did, they dug up the body of Christ to use it for experiments at Nanako. I thought, oh my God, this thing is so heretical. It would burn. It would self-combust. So I got rid of my original set just because of that, but of course went ahead and rebought it again years later, saying, "Well," I said, "Well, may as well. Gotta have the whole set. Gotta have them all from Pioneer. You can't have the whole thing without Nanako."
Yeah. One that I own. I've seen the movies. I want to see it. I just haven't seen it. That probably would qualify, at least among anime fans, as why don't you just sit down and freaking watch it? Is Nana. I do have it. I just haven't watched it.
That's an interesting one in my case because the sets are too expensive for me to break open.
Yeah.
They weren't when I bought them.
Yeah, but
I got them for $25 a piece.
Yeah.
Aren't you lucky? I probably spent quite a bit more on that.
Oh, wow.
But I'll be very hesitant to actually break it open the set. So I'm hoping that Eastern Star will put it out. I mean, they put out other cool stuff.
Like Honey and Clover got put out.
Yeah, those viz sets are really nice, but I understand your reticence about opening them because
it's worth seeing though because it is an amazing series.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and those sets are identical to the Honey and Clover sets, which I'm kind of glad has gotten out on Blu-ray, but I'm fine with the sets I've got. You'd think, seeing as it's my favorite series, I would just get the Blu-ray copies too. But I'm good with what I got on it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's got to be one that I know I've seen that
you got to pick your battles.
So recently, Zone of Enders was one I hadn't seen, but I saw
that's based on a video game. I think it was from 80 Vision, was it not? There was Zone of Ender. There was a couple different things on that. Maybe it was put up by Konami. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that, at least with the storyline and where it came from and all that.
There are a few there have been a few times in my life where I've been like, "What do you mean you haven't seen it?" And it's not so much that people say it to me, but I've said it. Like, I remember in college when a friend of mine said that she had never seen Jaws. And everyone in the room was like, "You've never seen Jaws?" Yeah. So we made sure she watched that one quickly. And there are examples like that. But one that was really interesting. And it goes to cultural and differences and market differences. One of the biggest, I don't know if you can call this regret because it's not really anything I could have done differently, but it's definitely a disappointment. One of the biggest friggin' disappointments of my life was that my commencement speaker was supposed to be Fred Rogers. And he passed away shortly before graduation. So, obviously, he wasn't the commencement speaker. But certain of us, in fact, most of the class, were thrilled. We were absolutely like, Mr. Rogers is going to speak at art. It was huge.
There you go.
One of our, here you go. But apparently the Academy didn't see this, so I wanted to say that to them. Why didn't you? But anyway,
one of the best documentaries of that year.
One of our best friends is from Bulgaria, and another one's from Brazil, and they were like, "Mr. Who?" And I was like,
most of the third world countries don't get to see the things that we get to see.
Well, yeah, and it's not so much, it's not strictly that too. You're right, probably, that Mr. Rogers is probably more a uniquely American thing. But an equally fascinating thing I found was that the vast majority of my international friends were not only familiar with, but were fans of Friends, which I know he would disagree with. Yeah. But it's interesting to see how that plays out sometimes, But yeah.
I haven't seen any of the Michael Bay Transformers movies other than the first one.
Right.
Well, I'm guilty of that too. I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen the rest of them.
Now, someone told me they've never seen the old animated Transformers movie. I would be.
I'm a little shocked at that because, who hasn't seen that? Who hasn't seen G.I. Joe? But, maybe.
The first movie I saw in theaters was Transformers.
Is that movie?
I remember the series more than I do the movie, and I own the movie. I just haven't watched it.
Shoot, I have on Steelbook.
Actually, back as I was a youngin', it was surprisingly violent. It was like, hey, everybody's dying here. I wonder what's going on.
I got more into Beast Wars than I did Transformers.
That was closer to your time.
And actually, someone earlier mentioned Voltron. I had only seen bits and pieces of Voltron, probably not when I was a kid, probably later. And I've never seen Go Lion, the original.
I own it, but I'm in the same boat as you are, Roger. As in, my Go Lion volumes are sealed, and I don't want to open them.
Oh man, yeah.
Actually, we were talking about Grail items the other week. Die Rugger. I would love to get all of those so I could have the entirety of that.
Yeah, the number one is the easy one to get, but the second two are no good to get. You just can't find them anywhere. If you do find them, they'll be stupidly expensive.
Right.
I could have picked them. I could have picked them up from FYE if I only was thinking about it. I said, I don't know about this stuff. Die Rugger. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I thought I
Just
should have
give me
picked.
the shelf here. It wasn't until 3 or 4 years ago I saw Born on the 4th of July for the first time.
That was the Oliver Stone show. That like with JFK. That I definitely watched that. Surprising, I did watch a lot of the Oliver Stone films. I didn't think I would like them, but I did like his films though.
There's a big one. Talking about Oliver Stone, I own a copy. I know it's come up multiple times in discussion, particularly with Dane. Is somehow I have not sat down and watched Natural Born Killers.
I have not seen that either. I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen that one.
Oh wow!
I feel bad about it.
Wait, did you say you did or didn't, Dave?
I have not seen Natural Born Killers.
Okay, so one of us has. That's actually kind of a bit. If Dane's watching this, he'd probably be like, "What do you mean?"
So
because you all watch them artsy fartsy films that only 80-year-olds love, so.
Everybody knows how artsy my
and I can say that because I'm still a young one.
Let's see if I can find something.
As I have proven time and again, I do enjoy a little of the old ultraviolence.
Look at this artsy piece right here.
Really?
Exactly.
There was a time where all these animal shows came out, like was it
I love
Day of the
Grizzly.
Animal, or was it Day of the Animals, or something like that? It had like Ben and Food of the Gods, and everything was like it was kind of Nature Gone Berserk kind of shows.
Well, as far as creature features, I have to admit I've never seen Python.
No. one I would be like surprised at. Actually, I was surprised at how many people hadn't seen Last Starfighter in Inner Space.
Oh God, yeah. Glad I.
It's been a long time since I've seen The Last Starfighter, but I have seen it.
Yeah, now I've just recently seen it. Thank you, guys.
There's more timers for that than I thought would be.
Right.
There was one The Great Outdoors. If somebody
John
could tell
Candy.
me that they hadn't seen that one, I would be surprised.
I think you showed it to me.
I have never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh,
That's an odd one. I had not seen it until probably 8 or 9 years ago.
I didn't see it until this last year.
Oh,
wow.
I was on another podcast talking about it. So,
okay. Well, as far as Steve Martin ones go, I've never seen Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Haven't seen that one.
Still haven't seen that.
neither have I.
And I've never seen what is it? The man with
Two
man
brains?
with two brains?
Oh,
I've never
Man
seen
with two brains.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I've seen that one. It's kind of an odd. It's like a Roseanne or Roxanne. Was it
I
Roxanne
have
or
seen
Roseanne?
Roxanne.
I saw Mixed Nuts. Mixed Nuts with Steve Martin in it, I think.
I don't think I saw that.
I see that most
not sure.
Christmases because it's such a weird, kind of melancholic film.
And there was a later
But it's
one
also
called,
a comedy at the same time. So it's
was
very
another one called Parenthood. With from Ron Williams or
Father
Ron
of the
Howard.
Bride.
But what about The Jerk?
There was.
I haven't seen that one.
The Jerk.
That's
Father of the Bride.
The Jerk is
I haven't
one
seen
you could say
Father
was not up today.
I was born a poor black man.
The Jerk.
Yes, The Jerk is one that I don't think could hold up today. I've never seen 50 Cent's movie. Get Rich
Oh
or
yeah,
Die Trying.
in our presentation tonight, Get Rich or Die Trying, there were a couple that we talked about that the Tupac documentary, Tupac Resurrection, and then the old Dave, you'd appreciate this one. We talked about Don't Look Now, which I'd never actually seen. So those were a couple that I was kind of like, I need to see those.
Well, I've never seen. What's that one? The original, one of the other ones, because there's like a whole bunch of those that are like credited as original pieces. Like Psycho is considered to be a part of the slasher genre before.
Yeah, I've never seen Bay of
Don't
Blood.
Look Now, Bay of Blood, which I haven't seen yet, but I own.
I've watched the entire Mario Baba collection.
What's that one?
I am very proud of these because these 2 box sets
They look pretty
were
solid.
picked up.
Oh, those are cool.
Mm-hmm.
These I picked up in the last days of Suncoast.
See, this is one that is credited as another one of those early slasher ones, the ones that was Precept Slasher, Peeping Tom, that I have yet to see.
I saw it.
Because I've been told if you those are the ones that you watch before you watch Not White Christmas. You watch Black Christmas, which is considered to be the first official formulaic slasher film.
See, most people realize that White Christmas was a proto-slasher film.
Although there is a slasher film out there called White Doomsday.
Okay.
Haven't seen that one either.
No.
Okay, I haven't seen I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Really? That's surprising.
What?
Okay.
Okay, these were like slasher film essentials.
Right. Now, I will say this. The second one was not an essential, and that's one of my few regrets from the movie theater. I don't regret it as hard as I regret going to see Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but
That was my favorite of the 2, to be honest.
I have not seen the second one.
But I loved Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and I saw it in the theaters.
Now, I've seen Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Now, if you've seen these in the theaters, you're older than you say you are.
And I have
Probably
watched those.
Okay. Let me see here. I know there's a couple others that I'd be like, people would be like.
See, now I know one that people would say, "You've seen that?"
Yeah, well, we all have
there's
a lot
one.
of those. You've
Gregory
seen?
Horror Show. That's something I have not seen myself.
Well, it's going to be my next pick in November. So.
No, I got to chase that thing down. Dear
Good
God,
time.
man.
I just recently found an emulator that plays so that I can actually play the game that it was based off of, which only got a European release. So
I own this series, but I have not watched it yet.
Space. Oh, I used to watch that as a kid. Space 1999. Yeah. With toys. I used to watch that with the Sid and Mary Croft stuff, like Puffin stuff, and Sigmund the Sea Monster, and that was one of the shows that came on.
I have heard of those shows, and I did watch Land of the Lost growing up.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
I never saw like any of the Puffin stuff or the Hatville or any of that stuff, even though I know
Hatville.
Or
they had like something like Supergirl and Donna Girl, and there was another kind of couple.
What
stuff.
you got there? What is that? Land of the Giants.
Land of the Giants, also a good one.
Nice. Yeah. So let me think here. Yeah, I've never seen, to the best of my recollection, I've never seen an episode of Gunsmoke or Bonanza.
Oh wow,
that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
And I
can't recall.
I used to watch something called The Wild Wild West.
Never saw that either.
I saw the movie.
I did see the movie.
I've seen the movie, but yeah, it used to be a TV show. Yeah, it was pretty good.
What was that movie that they always parody with the woman, like she has her her legs crossed in the chair, and then she turns around.
La Femme Nikita?
No, it was not Fatal Attraction.
Oh, the other one.
Cruel Intentions?
Cruel Intentions. I've never seen that.
Cruel Intentions? Are you sure that's one you're trying to think of? Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct.
That's the one you're trying to think of.
I haven't seen Cruel Intentions either, but I haven't seen Basic Instinct.
I'm not sure I've seen Basic Instinct. That's probably one I need
I've seen Basic Instinct 1 and 2. It's just been a while.
Yeah.
They're going to do another one.
Oh.
And they're planning on releasing an X-rated cut of the original.
This set, but I have not seen them. These are the original Zorro chapter.
The old Tyrone Power ones?
Zorro rides again, Zorro's fighting Legion, Zorro's Black Whip, and also, I guess, the Bold Caballero.
Well, Dave, since you said that I only tended to watch artistic films before, here's one of those artistic films that I would watch before.
Those are masterpieces.
So, but I've only watched the first one of this group.
It's so bad. So bad.
Makes me want to cringe.
So bad.
I'll be honest. Moist Fury is better than that.
Oh God.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll take your word for it.
If you've been Chris Sievage before, that's the director of those films. There, I swear, he never.
I have not seen this.
That's a fantastic film. I love that film.
Need to.
So, see, one of us has seen it. Have you seen this one, Roger?
No. I think I probably haven't seen 99% of the stuff you guys have seen. So probably not.
It's a musical, but here's the thing: if you haven't seen Ratevia's Nightmare, I mean, the fact that his three daughters end up having to fall in love, and then he has to decide whether he can give his permission to them. And unfortunately, his first daughter, he marries her off right away. Well, he has promised her to a butcher, but she has fallen in love with a tailor. Well, there's a dream that happens that he made up entirely to scare his wife into making him decide to have that marriage for the tailor. And that dream is fucking fantastic.
Well, how about Oklahoma?
I have not seen Oklahoma, but I do want to see the Hugh Jackman Oklahoma.
No.
I saw Paint Your Wagon.
I want to see that one because it's a Clint Eastwood film that's supposed to be almost the opposite of his typical cowboy films.
There's the Clint Eastwood sing. And what was that the guy with Lee Marvin? Was it something like that?
Yeah.
It was this weird. It's just the one day it was on the show. I said, "What the heck is this thing?" When they started singing and all that, so okay.
Now here's an interesting thought. Years ago, back in 2007, as a matter of fact, I remember distinctly that it was mid-2007 because for whatever reason, 300 was still on the list. So that tells you when it came out. I looked at the Internet Movie Database's top 250 and made note of the ones that I had not seen. I should have written the whole list down just for posterity, but whatever. As of right now, there are still 3 on that list that I haven't gotten around to seeing. One of which he owns, one of which we both own, and one of which is very rare and basically out of print. I have not seen Sleuth, and I don't know how many people would say you haven't seen Sleuth.
I don't think anybody actually owns it.
But yeah, but I know he would probably not have the same reaction that most critics has because I know he hated the film. But a lot of people would probably look at me like, "You've never seen The Grand Illusion?"
That's boring.
The Grand Illusion? What?
But the one that we both own is Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
still have not seen. I own it. I've owned it for like 2 years now. But
I've
never
seen the Disney flick one. Yeah, I've seen that one. That's
well,
the
this is
yeah,
the
if
first
made
one.
and
If anyone told me they'd never seen the Disney Beauty and the Beast, I would definitely be like, what?
yeah.
Well, here's one that some people might say because of everybody's love of Christopher Nolan.
Oh, that's such a tedious.
What's that?
This is, I believe, his first film, The Following.
Yeah.
And
I've discovered I do like Christopher Nolan. I did discover I like his films. So I
I've
haven't
never
seen
a
that
remake
one
of The
though.
Fallen.
I've never seen any fog.
Well, I've seen Fog.
Hmm.
I mean, you get a bad day on the mountain, you get fog.
I haven't watched this
Captain Midnight.
chapter serial yet.
Hmm.
Captain Midnight.
Midnight. Honestly,
The
I
Guild
wonder-
is a good series that people should watch,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't be surprised if people haven't seen it.
one that he and I both own that I know people will probably look at me and, Roger, you might say this. I don't know. I have not seen Watamote.
I have.
Watamote? What? What?
Watamote?
Watamote.
Do you know?
Watamote? Okay, I know that one. That's about the social outcast.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
girl, I know that one. Watamote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
That was pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
It would be over there.
Yeah, I found it.
I think it was a Funimation release.
No, that's a Sentai release.
Sentai release?
Now, one that I would say for anime fans, I would have almost said if you hadn't seen Kodacha,
You
would
gotta
be-
see Kodacha.
No, okay.
Well, that's a special case though because the Funimation one was so heavily edited, and plus
Well,
we
and
didn't
also
get past.
because they stopped halfway through.
Well,
Yeah.
I have seen the entirety though of
Yeah.
that series because I
Yeah.
went ahead and I watched it,
Well,
and
I
the
have
second
not.
half ain't worth
I've
watching
seen
in
the
my
first
opinion,
half.
other than the ones.
Well, the first 16 episodes are the ones you want to watch.
Yeah.
That definitely was a hilarious show.
The first two seasons were great, and a little bit of the second set. I mean, the first two parts were great, and then a little bit of the next part was good. And then once they got to New York and they started doing that stuff, it was just kind of like, meh.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what happened with Marmalade Boy. They went to New York and went to pot. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it wasn't an original manga. So yeah.
They are releasing Kodacha though, and they're doing it in its entirety, and that's
Yeah, you'll actually
Mhm.
see the true opening for the first time ever in North America.
Nice.
And of course, everybody's seen Hari plus Goo.
Yeah.
Hair and
Parts
Goo.
of it.
No,
Parts
I
of
haven't seen it yet.
Because it's so easy to get a hold of.
No, it's not. It took me years. It took me years to get the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, as far as like longer running ones, you can see right behind my head here,
Dragon
there's
Ball Z.
Dragon Ball here.
Yeah, if
I've
anybody hasn't seen
mentioned-
Z though,
I've mentioned a few times. I have seen Dragon Ball twice, all 155 episodes, but I've never seen any of the movies. I have yet to see a single episode of Z or Super, but I've seen all three of the movies that theoretically started Super. Like, so it's like I've seen the two Z movies that were the last two before they did Super, and I've seen the first official Super movie, but I've not seen either of those series.
For me, it had been surprisingly enough, but many people are surprised that I hadn't seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z for so many years. But just recently, not long ago, I saw Dragon Ball. I had a friend of mine that offered to say, "Oh, by the way, I got this little Dragon Ball Z collection. You like to borrow it?" I said, "What the hell? Why not?" That's the reason why I watched that. I didn't see any of the movies. I haven't seen GT. I haven't seen any of the stuff in between. I haven't seen Kai.
No
Right, I
GT or
bought
Kai.
Kai,
either.
but I haven't seen
Same.
Kai. So that's one thing I thought about getting because my friend Nathan has the whole shebang.
you see a lot of people got their anime, their first anime introduction through Toonami and Adult Swim,
Yeah.
which is why you see a lot of people who are familiar with Gundam Wing, with Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z, with all of them.
And that Sailor Moon would be
My
up there
first
somewhere.
anime
Okay.
introduction was through Unico.
Oh, that was it was a
My
Tezuka
my
Tezuka
mom
show.
had actually videotaped the Fantastic Adventures of Unico and Island of Magic on the same VHS tape with that Nutcracker Fantasy.
Good lord, those all have nightmarish things on them.
Yeah, all three of those were some of my childhood rewatches.
Nice.
But then in high school, I had a friend who had Dragon Ball, Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT all on VHS.
It's a lot of VHS.
So we
Oh,
would
that's
end
a big
up at
collection.
his house watching episodes of this crap on his television. I say crap because them VHS sets were humongous.
The TV VCR combo. I used to sell those. I used to sell those. Yeah.
The 4-kid version of Dragon Ball.
I've sold a lot of those maintenance agreements on those. The VCR goes, the TV goes. Too bad. You should get it.
For a while there, I had a massive TV VHS DVD player combo set, and it was huge and heavy as hell. But I liked it because it was all together.
Yeah.
But my dumb ass once was moving, and I closed the door on the car and didn't know what was happening until it was too late.
Oh no.
The plug had been outside the door and the plug was sheared off. So there was like nothing to do. It was gone.
Gone.
Yeah. I think I was moving out, yeah. But with Sailor Moon,
like me,
that's another one I haven't
the
seen.
Sailor Moon is a weird one because I had actually never seen it at all growing up. I was familiar with it by name and reputation, but he actually started showing me Sailor Moon, and we got through R, and then we had to stop. And I now have, I think, the whole original series. I watched the first half of Crystal, but I haven't bothered to go beyond. I mean, the first half of the first season. I haven't bothered to go. But the weird thing is, before the Viz re-release, when it was like insanely expensive, yeah, I found this is one of my all-time favorite gets, and I should have mentioned this when we were talking about our favorite gets a couple weeks ago. I found a copy of the Sailor Moon R movie, the Pioneer release, when it was going for like $90 or somewhere thereabouts. And I bought it for $4 at Movie Stop.
Good man. I really miss Movie Stop. I tell you what. Sometimes the stuff you would find in there, so what the heck? You can pick up like the 12, like the what's it called, the 12 Kingdoms. I think they had set 1 and 2 for $5 a piece.
That's a show I haven't gotten into yet. I own much of it, but I haven't seen it.
Well, I've got one that'll surprise you, Dave. I have never seen any of the Hammer horror films all the way through.
Really?
None of them.
A single one.
You have to start, you have to start with Amicus.
Now I have got 2 big sets of Hammer.
You have to start with Amicus.
There we go, man. Dave, I've never seen such intensity from Dave before. Now he's really completely serious now. So
you must start at the beginning and work your way through, because to me it's like legendary to see them go through what they became, because it's from Amicus.
These are the only ones I actually own.
Look for the Amicus collection.
And
actually, the Amicus collection, if you can find them, I believe one is called "And Now the Streaming Starts." Asylum.
Amicus Productions.
Yeah, because that's where Hammer started. When Hammer first started, they were Amicus, and then they went over into Hammer after that.
Now, if somebody told me they hadn't watched a John Hughes film, I'd be kind of
Amicus
well, there
collection.
are some. I have never actually. There's a big one.
Oh my God.
I own copies of, but I have never actually seen 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, and The Breakfast Club.
I haven't seen any of those either.
I have.
What?
We went through a 16 Candles Breakfast Club phase for a little bit. We watched them back to back, I think.
I've also never seen She's Having a Baby, and I think there's 2 or 3
I
other
don't think
Hughes.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen most of Hughes films, I guess.
I've seen 9 months.
Okay,
Was
I've
the
never
house a
never
trip
saw
to-
that. Well, no, I think I did see that. I think I did
Well,
see
there's
that
the
one.
There's a
Amicus
couple of
film.
films like that, like one called You Got Mail and Sleepless in
I
Seattle.
only saw You've Got Mail a few, like 3 or 4 months ago.
There's a tail.
Like we saw
Is
the
that a
original.
The Amicus collection, not the one you're talking about.
Yes.
I see it on my screen now.
You have
Yeah.
to get that.
Okay.
I'm almost shuddered to say
$259.
something
I don't
like
think
that.
I'll
Oh my
And
God.
then start with that smaller collection and work. Well, actually, yeah, work with that big one that you got of Hammer.
I have
I
no.
was gonna say, there's no way I'll
I'm
be
so
getting the
far
other
out
ones
of my
for a while
element
unless I
here
can
that I
find
have
them
no
cheaper.
idea what it's about.
There's a few like really kind of critically important early Oscar ones. I've never seen Wings. I've never seen Cimarron. Never saw Sunrise, A Tale of Two Humans.
I've seen
You know,
Sunrise.
some of those.
I've seen Wings as well because it was just like it was one of the
Right.
first, I think, Best Picture winners. I had to see
Right.
it.
I haven't
They-
seen Ron. I haven't seen
haven't.
Ron. Yeah. I
Okay.
haven't seen the
I've seen the
what was it
Odyssey.
called? The and what was
I've
the
seen
other
Captain Ron.
That's slightly
Ron
different.
and
Ron.
what was that other
Slightly
one?
different movie.
Something
We'll have to
called
do Captain. Actually, we could pair Captain Ron and Ron. That would be an interesting movie night. But
yeah, what was that other one?
I know
I'm trying to think of
These
the
documentaries that they have
Dragon or-
right here.
what's that one called?
Reflections on the Living Dead. This one's fine. Electric Boogaloo.
I've never seen that one.
Nope.
More Brains. A Return to the Living Dead.
Oh my God.
Don't know.
Never Sleeps Again. That one's signed. And His Name is Jason. That one's signed.
Nice.
That's a good
I
one.
haven't seen any of these.
No, I haven't either.
I've never seen
I collected them,
What?
but I have not watched them.
You haven't seen Super Troopers? What are you talking about?
Neither have I.
Super Trooper. And they
I
also
have
had
not
the
seen
Super
Super
Fuzz too.
Do it?
There's something called Super Fuzz.
Is there?
What's it called?
No, I've seen Hot Fuzz.
Are you talking about Hot Fuzz?
No, it's not about super cops.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly.
It's the copycat.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz is a good one. That's a classic.
I just recently watched that.
Yeah, good
It's a
times.
good film.
So,
Now, if somebody had told me they had never seen the Turtles movies, or one,
yeah.
I've seen the first one. I saw the first one, and I was kind of surprised how well it was made. I wasn't expecting to be anything good about it.
Are you talking about the newer Teenage
The
Mutant Ninja
first,
Turtles
the
or
first
the older?
live action one. The one said, you won't believe this is like a real movie, dudes, kind of a cover.
well, you would have been an adult fully when that came out, right?
I might have been I was probably very young
at least
adult.
late,
It would have been
or at least
years ago.
Because that was like in the early '90s, I believe.
Well, the first one was, I think, 90 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So it would have been I would have been in the military at the time. So yeah, I would have been a young adult at that time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless you were lying about your age to get in.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird, actually. It's like it's peacetime. I'm going to lie about my age to get into the military. But of course, that was close to Desert Shield, I believe, wasn't it?
Well, during that time I was on MacDill Air Force Base, so I remember I was on duty when Bush just Jr. announced that he was going to take care of it.
I know there's a lot of stuff recently. Okay, well, here's a big one. I have not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
I haven't either.
I
I'm
have
so
watched
tempted to buy the set. I'm so tempted to buy it.
I have watched
to
the
get it.
entire series.
Oh, wow. I've not seen that. I've not seen any episodes of A Handmaid's Tale. I read the book, but I've not seen
I saw
it.
the first season of that.
Yeah. And then
I haven't seen that one.
there's a few of these shows that are like super popular at the library. I've not seen any episodes of Midsummer Murders. I know one of our friends' parents is a big fan of that series. I know that.
Midsummer.
there's-
It's Broadcasting.
Murders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midsummer Murders. It's fairly similar to
Midsummer
like
Murder?
Miss Marple Mysteries.
Yeah. and that's
Oh,
another one
okay.
I've
That's
not
up.
seen.
I used to watch a show
Poirot.
called
Yeah,
Mystery
I'm not
back in the
seeing
day.
Poirot.
Father Brown Mysteries.
Right.
Yeah,
Father
fairly
Stuff like
similar
that.
to that.
Whatever. Aunt
I know
Mabel.
my
Whatever.
parents got into the Downton Abbey series, which I
I have
haven't
seen
seen.
that.
That's
But
a
I
good
have
movie.
I have seen the movie.
Yeah.
I saw a screening of Downton Abbey with my
Nice.
dad.
Now, have you seen the predecessor to Downton Abbey, Upstairs, Downstairs?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah. Same here. You showed me what, like 2 episodes?
Yeah, it's a bit drier
It
than
is.
Downton Abbey. It's a little bit harder to follow, but it is very deep plot-wise.
Clueless.
I actually like it
Absolutely
better,
clueless.
but it's
Yeah.
it's a bit drier.
I'm disappointed we broke off on Jeeves and Wooster. That was a fun series.
Yeah, we both have never finished that.
I know. We need to finish.
and
That's a fun
do
one.
it out too.
And
If
do it
I've
out
never
too,
seen
yes.
Squidbillies, I would love to.
Oh, and you know, we were talking on the pickups as well. I was not a Nick child, and he was. So I have seen hardly any Rugrats. So that's like not a big.
Rugrats and Doug were like common
Right.
household names.
Hardly any Doug, hardly any Ren and Stimpy, like all that stuff. I barely saw.
Ren and Stimpy, I was told to stay away from, and for the most part,
Doug.
did.
This is the Nickelodeon one, so
Right.
it's the good part before it got bad.
I'm trying to think. There were a couple others. Oh, was it Daria? I've never seen. You know, and
I
that's,
hadn't until
Bits
recently.
and pieces of that.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then there were a few other.
I've seen only one episode of Beavis and Butthead.
I've seen a few episodes. I've
used to be a
seen
part of
some
Liquid
re-release
TV.
of that show.
Every single episode, including the banned ones.
Well,
You
Of,
know-
of,
and also-
You called the
you know-
movie though, right?
yeah, I did see the movie because my
Okay.
father loved the movie.
I'm sorry, but if you have never seen anything of Beavis and Butthead, the one episode that I suggest that you see is the episode where Beavis and Butthead forget how to take a piss.
Well,
God, man.
so I actually, that was funny. The one episode that I had forgotten about, the one episode I saw, I remembered it because it was during the time when everybody was acting stupid about the gas pipeline. And I remember grabbing that. I was like, okay, I gotta grab this and then show it around again because they were actually going in and trying to get like a gallon of gas. They were
How
like,
much
put it in
for
a
a
plastic
gallon of
bag.
gas?
It's like, put it in a plastic bag or something. I was like, I was thinking at the time, that's stupid. Then you got people putting gas in plastic bags.
I hadn't heard that. There were reports of that.
Mhm.
Oh, dumbasses!
They were tying them up in trash bags, put them in the back of their cars, and
Good idea, bad idea.
well, you sell cars, Roger. Would
Uh-huh.
you recommend any cars to tie up a bunch of plastic bags full of gas in the trunk for?
Well, if I sold Yugo, sure. No,
Because- Yeah.
my God, man. There's some stuff I've seen. I could not believe people actually drove those things. So, yeah, amazing.
There are some pretty hideous vehicles out there. That's for
Yes,
sure.
there was.
Well, there's
That,
one called the
the
Thing.
Toyota Camry that had the rope handlebars, and it was like a third of it full with trash and fleas and lice and stuff in there. And it's just disgusting.
I've seen one of those things. They call them the Thing. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. That was the model, and that was a weird looking car. It looked like a thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, actually, one movie I wonder you guys seen was called What Heart Beeps.
I own it.
I own it and I've seen it.
Of it.
It's
My
got the
God.
dude from Taxi in it.
My God,
Oh.
my God, you guys have actually seen that thing?
Okay, well there you go. I have not seen any full episodes of Taxi.
Oh, well.
I've seen bits
Um,
and pieces.
Maybe one or two episodes
maybe one
Yeah.
or two.
of Taxi.
I think I've seen a little bit with that Andy Kaufman was still in it.
Right.
But that
I
was
mean-
about it.
I saw Man on the Moon, so I saw where they were filming scenes
Yeah.
of Taxi.
Well, see, I grew up when I was growing up. I loved Nick at Night as a teenager.
Oh, Mr. Ed. Yeah, I used to watch it.
I've
Because
seen
it had
bits and
Mr.
pieces.
Ed, the Donna Reed show, stuff like that.
And Route 66.
Car
and,
54.
Honeymooners.
I haven't seen that.
The
and all these-
Munsters.
I used to watch the
Bits and
Munsters.
pieces.
Yeah.
The Addams Family.
And Adam's Family. Yeah.
I never saw the Addams Family growing up, but I bought it about 7 or 8 years ago, and I've watched it since then. It's a good show. It's fun. Parts of it haven't aged well, but mostly it has.
I remember watching The Twilight Zone down the corridor when I was a young kid.
Bits and pieces.
See, I've
Yeah.
never watched episode. Actually, I've never watched more than 1 or 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone.
That's kind of weird, given that your old man's obsessed with the movie.
Surprising, 'cause
Yeah, I've watched the movie.
That's weird. He's like, I
See,
watched
that's
the movie with his dad. He's obsessed with that thing.
that is a poor representation of the series. Shame on you.
I like the movie.
Oh
though.
boy, Dave is passionate about the Twilight Zone. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Twilight Zone these days. You know, the earlier ones, the later ones I was not so much of a fan of, but the black and white with Rod Stewart.
Yeah, coming and showing us that you have it is not does not.
The complete collection. There it is, brother. The complete deluxe collection.
It's unopened, you bastard.
Yeah.
I've got
And-
a few of those in my collection. I
Yeah,
got
That is a crime upon humanity.
He's seen one that I
haven't
haven't
seen.
seen. I've never seen the Abbott and Costello show.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Again, I got lucky on that.
Basically, you're not missing much if you've seen the entire Universal collection of the Abbott and Costello.
This show had its good
movies.
moments.
Because
That'd be
because
good.
their skits are the same in the show.
Yeah.
They just do a few other gimmicks. I honestly enjoyed their radio personalities.
Well, see, I've only seen the Abbott and Costello movies, the monster movies. I have not seen any of their regular movies.
I have that big box set of the Abbott and Costello that came out. I picked it up for like $40.
Oh, I got mine cheap too.
$40.
I just haven't. I have not gotten into it. Well, of course, again, it's like everything else. I've got all of these WB shows, these superhero shows that I haven't watched past like season 2 yet
I'm
because
working my way.
I was
I'm working my
starting
way
on
through
it.
Working my way through them. I'm on season 6 of Arrow. I think 4 of Flash, 3 of Legends, and I think 3 of Supergirl. And
I think
I'm getting there.
part of collecting is basically collecting it first, and then it's finding the time to sit down and just crack through it. And it's like most of it you got to catch when it's on TV, or else you never get a chance to sit down and watch it.
Normally I'm usually watching all the time. Recently, I've been kind of focused elsewhere, or I'm rewatching. Now, I did rewatch my copy of The Last Starfighter, which was great to do because I had an Arrow copy, and I hadn't gotten to watch my copy of it yet. And so that was a really cool set too. That Arrow Blu-ray was freaking awesome.
Cool.
Let's see. You don't have that one, do you?
I do not. No.
Good one.
I didn't get it. Neither. I'm sure that my copy, along with Battlestar Galactica, the movie in which I have it on, I think I have a 4-film collection with.
Well, okay, there's another one that I know that y'all will be like, okay, he hasn't seen an episode. I have not seen a single episode of Battlestar Galactica.
I'm not either.
I have. Maybe about half of the original series. I still have to get Battlestar Galactica, the 1980s.
And then,
I used to watch that with Star Trek. Definitely.
I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who.
What?
Hey,
What?
I
No
don't either.
way. That's
Sadly.
impossible. No,
That
no
it-
Tom Baker, no
Haven't
David
seen it.
Pertwee,
Okay.
no.
Here is where I'll repeat what the radio announcer before the Hindenburg disaster happened. Oh my God, the insanity, the humanity!
Well, it's sort of like how you would look at that, like One Piece or some of these large series. As I look at it, and it's
Yeah.
like there's too much of it. I'm overwhelmed.
Well, same thing. I've not seen any Astro Boy. It's kind of the same thing. You know, it's just so
I
much.
haven't seen Astro
I've seen the
Boy.
90s
Boy
series.
is kind of like an acquired taste because it
Yeah.
came out in 1963.
Mhm.
You know, it was like Hanna-Barbera stuff, and if you watched it, you would at that time would have been pretty fascinated. But now it's
Mhm.
more like a antiquated curiosity, along with that Tenjin 28 and the other kind of limited cell work kind of stuff.
Or like a couple years or a year back, whenever the hell it was, when there was this big to do about the Gamera set. I
Here we
had
go.
not seen Gamera. It was brand new to me, and it's like I've seen the first one now, but I wasn't willing to throw down that much money on a series I had
My
no
God.
familiarity with. But it was a cool set, though.
I have
Mr.
not
Magoo?
seen-
Yeah. I used to
I
watch
missed-
that on TV.
Very little of it. Very
Yeah.
little.
They had that time they had stuff like that and like a Hong Kong Fooey and
Mm.
other kind of weird shows. It was just
Mm.
it was a Saturday morning cartoon. It popped
Mhm.
up every so often. And some other weird stuff that came in like early in the weekdays, early in the mornings, like the Spirit of '76 and the
Mm.
it's this weird stuff that people have
Hmm.
that forgot that needed to be forgotten. They were no good.
I've never seen.
Ironically, I was watching around one of those kind of
No,
shows,
me
and
neither.
yeah, that's how I found. That's at that time. That's how I found Star Blazers one day. I saw this show one day, and the Morris, what the heck is this? And I said, "Whoa, look at the animation's way better than the Spirit of '76." So yeah,
I've never seen Star Blazers or the series it originally came from.
But
Space
Danger Mouse.
Battleship Yamato, Danger Mouse. I watched a lot of it on
Bits and
Nickelodeon.
pieces.
Yeah.
I bought it from him. I have not sat down and
Oh, yeah.
watched it yet.
You had that.
I
You had
loved it on
Danger Mouse.
Nickelodeon.
You had Belle and Sebastian. And you also had something called the Mysterious Cities of Gold.
But yeah,
Yes.
I know that.
Captain Planet.
Captain
yeah.
Planet. Nice.
Oh, my
what have you
God.
got there, Dave? Is
A
that the whole
bootleg
thing?
copy.
Oh, okay, bootleg. Because I was like, I don't think there is a proper release.
No, there isn't.
No,
They
I'm
only
saying,
proper
I want
release
that.
of- They only have a proper release of
Yeah.
the first season.
Yeah,
That's
I want that.
This is one example
Yeah.
of a release that I knew was coming out, and I knew if I didn't grab it, it was going to be out of print. And this was my childhood. So, and yet it still did not have the original Japanese scripts because they lost them.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
a weird set.
Your childhood was that. My childhood was
I
this.
remember that one.
Beetlejuice.
I have that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to get that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This was a big series. There was another one that something of Arcadia that was a French animated, I believe.
Oh yeah. I'm talking was it something what's it called? Jason and the City Beneath the Sea or something like that.
Yes, that's exactly.
Mm.
It was.
It was a weird show, like a teen. It's a weird show.
Yeah, it was a teenager show, but I was a bit younger than that when I watched it originally. But
Mhm.
it was just
you got
really
there, Dave?
cool. No, that's old
I
school.
own that show. I remember.
used to wa-
seeing it.
And I used to
probably saw
watch
a few
that show
episodes.
too.
I
You
saw
had
a
Davy
few.
and Goliath. You had Gumby.
Yeah.
What was the other? I don't remember anymore. That's it. And it was there's the claymation stuff was kind of like it was kind of weird even back then.
Yeah, but the movie, Gumby the movie, never came out on anything. So
They had a 10 version of it that released not long ago.
That might be what I have.
Gumby the movie,
Yeah, I watched that. I do have it. The movie.
not on DVD.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's an easy way to set up.
Gumby the movie.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I remember it because I wasn't able to get like the series, but I was able to find the movie.
Yeah.
It's out of print now, but not
Mhm.
back then. That was back when movie stuff was big, and I remember seeing those sets and like, that's just a movie. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want the series. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. That's the one you're talking about, right?
Probably.
Oh, look.
See? Looks like that. Gumby the movie.
Really?
Oh, only $10 too, Dave, if you want it. Okay, now one that everybody watched and they were surprised when I hadn't seen an episode was Gravity Falls for a while.
Yeah.
I did watch that one though, and I showed Jacob that one too.
That's a good one. I like it.
I think that was one of the last ones we actually watched together.
I think so.
That was a good one to end on if we had to.
Have you seen Twin Peaks?
Yes.
Okay, now that's one. I've seen the movie, but none of the show.
I've seen the show, but none of the movie.
Oh, and actually, we have another weird one like that. Unless anything's changed in the meantime.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen Band of Brothers. I own the Pacific. He has seen the Pacific and owns Band of Brothers.
And I own the Pacific too, but I haven't seen it.
So that's kind of weird. But yeah, same thing with Twin Peaks. I've seen the movie, but not I really want to see the show. I own season 1. I need to get the whole thing and watch it.
I sold my
It
Amiga
was
4.
pretty big. It was all about the everybody. Even Time had an article. Who killed Laura Palmer?
Mm-hmm.
I did not watch it until later in life. And we're rewatching it a little bit at a time, like one episode a week with me and my wife. We'll sit back after our work crisis. And I've got a ritual now. I will sit there, I work at the hospital, and then when I get off around midnight, I stop by, I get a banana pudding milkshake, and then I come back to the house, and we sit back with an episode of Twin Peaks as I eat the banana milkshake that gets frozen by then because it sits in the freezer.
Good times.
While I'm waiting, and it's a nice way of doing it.
Yeah, and there was a movie too.
Oh yeah, there's a
Come Fire Walk with Me.
That I've got on Criterion.
Yeah, Twin Peaks, the Fire Walks with Me. I've got the DVD, so I don't need the Blu-ray. I'm not an entire fan of Blu-ray, so
I'll probably eventually get on Blu-ray just because I want to upgrade to Criterion, but I'm not in a hurry. I was just looking again, scanning the shelves here. I've never seen Say Anything. That's probably one that would give me some funny looks.
Oh, how about I've never seen an episode of Saved by the Bell.
Not at all?
Right.
Wow. And you own it.
God.
And my wife.
There is this episode where Screech.
I know.
He fantasizes that the school is being taken over by aliens. That is a classic episode.
Actually, I watched a
I don't know if I saw that. I've seen several episodes, but it's been a while.
I watched a rip-off of it in high school called Welcome Freshman, which was a Nickelodeon show.
I was subjected to Saved by the Bell because I had a sister. So.
Well, everybody likes Zach Morris, which then they got that video series. Zach Morris is trash, which shows like he's the villain, and this is why.
Another one for you, Roger. I've seen the movie and I own the series, but I have not actually watched an episode of Revolutionary Girl Utena. So that's one I need to.
That's a weird one.
Yeah,
and it suffers from Sailor Moon syndrome of Monster of the Week.
Right.
Well, I think the same series director that did Sailor Moon did Utena.
Yeah,
that was
Ikuhara did do some Sailor Moon. I think that's awesome.
One thing I didn't like about the series of that and Sailor Moon of that was the repetition. And as a kid, it was okay, but as an adult watching Utena, it was like, okay, I've seen this before. It's just a coat of paint, but does they're just recycling the same animation over and over.
Sometimes,
again.
Like the walk up the tower, took a fight to do another fight, and the gates open, and
Mm-hmm. Now the movie, Lieutenant of the movie is weird.
and one I have not watched in its entirety.
It is.
I have not
weird.
watched that one yet.
And
I'm
those
told over and over again to watch it though.
actually, that is a series I will never upgrade to the Blu-ray on because the Right Stuff sets that they put out with that, the artwork and so on, I would never want to.
Oh, those are cool looking sets.
They're too cool looking for me to upgrade and then move on with.
Right. So yeah,
I guess we should be wrapping
we
up.
probably should. See
So,
if everyone should try and come up with one more.
so yeah,
doozy.
let's all do one more each, and then we'll end it. So Roger, can you think of one more? It could be an anime, movie, or TV series that you haven't watched that most people that you either know or talk to would say, you haven't seen that?
I haven't watched. For anime or movies,
Mhm.
It's like something almost everybody has watched, but for some reason you have not gotten to it.
Mhm.
I think the closest one. No, we already talked about all those though. No, I get. No, I don't have I don't have an idea. Maybe the closest thing to that would have been Digimon or something like that, but that's about it. And maybe Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was one that people gasped on. I'd never seen before, but yeah, not really. Anything that we haven't talked about.
Did you ever see the animated series for that one?
The Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great animated series.
Yeah, that's like I said. That was my main exposure to it. Was the animated series.
What about you, Dave? Can you think of a movie or show that almost everybody else seems to have seen, but you have not yet?
Death Wish.
Death Wish. The movie, the original, or the remake?
The entire series.
Oh wow!
So Charles Bronson, right?
Charles Bronson and the remake with Bruce Willis.
Yeah. You would like Death Wish. I am pretty sure you would like almost all of
it. I have them. I just haven't gotten around to movie-athoning them.
I have not seen those myself. One day.
Up to you, Jake.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to come up with a really big one that we haven't.
That's what I was looking for. Is one that I haven't seen that would be a one that people go, what? I've had a couple that made Dave go, wait, you haven't seen that?
Yeah, we've had a few of those, no doubt about it, in conversation.
Twilight Zone one.
Yeah, that's a crime against humanity. That should put you in movie jail for quite some time.
Right. Right.
That should be an episode of Twilight Zone in its own.
A man who never seen an episode. Actually, I have seen one episode of Twilight Zone. I saw the airplane one with William Shatner.
Was
it
called? The Grandma at 20,000 feet or
Nightmare at 20,000 feet.
You're good, Dave. I couldn't figure out the whole title. That's a good show with William Shatner. That was a good one.
Yeah, there was one other episode with William Shatner where
with the little bubble devil head thing with the messages.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, you're a Twilight Zone nut. I like you.
Thank you. I did. I missed one of those kind of shows which I kept on watching with dread, but I kept on watching it. I was so interested. But I was so scared of it.
Well, since you're a car salesman, you'd probably appreciate my fiance's car. She's got a 1972 Grand Prix.
She needs a car?
That her mom restored. And while DeLorean was actually going out of business, they did like what is it? They did a contest to figure out the best car to put on their Johnny Lightning car.
We watched like two.
Her mom sent in a picture of the car and her name and whatnot, and got a Johnny Lightning car.
Huh.
with the 72 pre plates saying 72 pre.
Well,
I don't know. What's up?
I can go first while
Go
you
for it.
find it. I can think of one that most people have seen who are my age, or a little bit younger. Yet I have not seen an episode. I have not seen an episode of Batman Beyond, and I own the series.
I just
I
recently
haven't
seen
either.
that one.
So
Well, and Mo would probably, if he were on here, he'd be like, "What?"
I have also not seen an episode of The Batman, which is the episodal series after that, I think.
But have you seen Batman the Animated Series?
Heck yeah. Yeah. That was a monumental change in animation quality for that time. There's nothing that touched it at that time.
Up until a few years ago, probably 7 or 8, 6-ish, I had never seen an episode of the old Adam West Batman, but at this point I've seen a few episodes.
Not missing much, man.
I don't know. It's some fun stuff.
No violence, and a bang of oof and oomph, kind of like all kinds of censorship.
I love the 1960s Batman, though. It's comical in its own right.
Right. Well, yeah.
Robin would always say, "Holy bejesus, Batman! Oh my God!"
Holy lizard, Batman! The Penguin did it again.
Right.
And then you would have the announcer.
Same bat channel.
Will they ever escape from the trap of death? Same bat channel, same bat time. That was a ridiculous show,
and you
man.
can tell that the narrator got tired of saying the same damn thing, so he would change it up over time.
Right.
Sometimes it would be shortened. You'll be like, "What?"
Right.
But just imagine having to wait till the next week for that other episode.
Right. So, yeah, man, this is really hard. Like, I'm seeing stuff like Breaking the Waves might be something that would surprise some people.
What about Korra?
The Legend of Korra. I saw episodes, not many. I need to see more.
It's kind of like the Avatar, the Last Airbender kind of thing.
Inuyasha the final act, but I've seen Inuyasha, so that's not as shocking, I guess. What do you got there? The Wild Wild West. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's a good show.
That is a nice set.
That's a beautiful set.
Nice looking set. Yeah. Envy that. But, yeah. Okay. Well, actually, this is one I guess that might work. I own talking about really cool looking box sets. I own the complete series of Little House on the Prairie, and I could not swear to it that I've seen an episode.
Because it's been on Me Channel, and it just so happens to be like right before Highway to Heaven or whatever.
I had seen that.
I have at least seen all the circulated episodes of House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
We used to just have the main because for the longest time when I was growing up, it was just the first 3 channels. It was just the 3 channels on a black and white.
Yep.
It wasn't until I was around I want to say 9 or 10 maybe that we had a color TV. So it was that was when I was able to get Nickelodeon and all that stuff back then. Maybe a little bit later, but I know up until at least 7 because I remember watching Alf on that black and white. But yeah, Little House on the Prairie and all that. Because I remember that because we had the wood burning stove, and that's how I learned how to split wood and do that. And then I burned myself. I still have the scar on my hand from when I burned myself on the wood stove trying to do that. But I was laughing along with Alf because I thought it was funny. And then it wasn't so funny when I burned my hand.
No, not so much.
Hell, I remember watching some of that stuff on those little black and white carry-on automobile TVs that you would be able to plug it into the campers.
Good time.
I think General Electric used to have those.
Well, with that being said, we'll go ahead and say goodnight to everybody. I do appreciate y'all's time. And of course, if y'all two will stay on just briefly after we end our broadcast, I will have a couple other things. But thank you all again for joining us for this wonderful conversation.
No problem.